The Tower of Babel was a moment of great defiance in human history. After the flood, when Noah and his family emerged from the ark, God gave them a clear command: be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. It was a divine mandate meant to ensure that mankind spread across the world, forming new communities and nations. Yet within just a few generations, humanity chose to rebel against this directive. Instead of spreading out, they gathered together in one place and decided to build something that would secure their unity forever. A great city and a towering structure that reached the heavens. At that time, the whole world spoke one language. There were no divisions, no barriers to communication. This unity allowed people to work together seamlessly, and with it came a powerful ambition. As they migrated eastward, they settled in the land of Shinar, a region known today as Mesopotamia. There they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar, ensuring their city would be permanent and strong. But this was no ordinary construction project. Their goal was not just to build a city. They wanted to build a tower that reached the heavens. They declared, "Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered over the face of the earth." This was a direct act of defiance against God's command. Rather than obeying the call to fill the earth, they sought to centralize their power. This tower, likely a massive ziggurat, symbolized their desire for dominance, unity without God, and self-sufficiency. It was a fortress against any attempt, natural or divine, to disperse them. They wanted security, fame, and control, but their actions had consequences. God saw their rebellion, but rather than responding with destruction, as he had in the days of the flood, he chose a different approach. He confused their language. No longer able to understand one another, the people could not continue working together. Frustration grew, arguments erupted, and the grand project collapsed. The once united civilization broke into smaller groups, each speaking a different language. They could no longer coordinate or remain as one. As a result, they were forced to do exactly what they had tried to avoid. They scattered across the earth, just as God had originally commanded. The city and its great tower were left unfinished. The place became known as Babel, meaning confusion, because it was there that God divided human language for the first time in history. The dream of a one-world empire was shattered and mankind was dispersed. This event explains why people today speak different languages and why nations formed separately across the globe. But why did God intervene in this way? Many think it was just a punishment, but in reality, it was also a form of protection. God knew that if mankind remained united in rebellion, their corruption and arrogance would grow unchecked, leading them down a path of destruction. By scattering the nations, he slowed their ability to organize against him and ensured that no single power would dominate the earth in defiance of his will. Babel was the moment where human ambition met divine sovereignty. Mankind sought to reach the heavens on their own terms, but God reminded them that ultimate authority belongs to him alone. And yet the story of Babel was not the end. Centuries later at Pentecost, something remarkable happened. The Holy Spirit descended upon the disciples, and suddenly, people from different nations could understand each other once more. Where Babel divided, Pentecost united, not in rebellion, but in the Spirit of God. The lesson of Babel is clear. When humanity seeks power apart from God, it leads to division and failure. But when we submit to him, we find true unity, purpose, and hope.